So, what do you picture when you think about the future of farming in Africa? Well, you might be surprised to find out it has less to do with soil and, traditional methods and a lot more to do with satellites, data, and digital finance. We're about to dive into a truly radical transformation that could literally change the lives of millions.
But okay, before we get to all the cool high-tech solutions, we really have to understand the problem on the ground. For generations, smallholder farmers, and these are the folks who are the absolute backbone of Africa's food supply, have been stuck. I mean, they've been battling everything from crumbling infrastructure to just a basic lack of access to market.
It is a huge challenge, no doubt about it. But that also presents this incredible opportunity, right? What if you could use technology to connect all these isolated farmers, to tear down all those barriers and build one single unified digital ecosystem?
So let's start there, with the reality on the ground. What are the specific hurdles that keep these farmers kind of locked in this cycle of just getting by?
For over 60% of the population in sub-Saharan Africa, farming isn't just a job, it's everything. But just try to imagine running a business completely in the dark. You have no idea what the market price is for your crops, you don't know if a big storm is coming, you can't get a loan for better seeds or equipment, and you're pretty much forced to sell to middlemen who take a massive cut. It's a system that's really just built for survival, not for success.
Okay, so now let's pivot to the solution. The Confederation of African Farmers and a company called Pulsar have come up with this incredible continent-wide vision to tackle these problems head-on.
And the ambition here is, well, it's breathtaking. It's basically a 4-layer strategy. First up, you create a digital map, a geolocated database of every single farmer. Then, you build a kind of social network on top of that, a hub for the entire industry. The third layer is where you provide the actual services, finance, market access, you name it. And finally, the fourth layer makes sure everybody is financially included in the system.
And this hub, it's not just another app. Think of it more like a massive virtual town square for all of African agriculture. This is the place where a farmer in Kenya can directly connect with a buyer in Ghana, or where an equipment supplier can find new customers. It's one single space for trade, for learning, and for finance. It's all about building a digital community.
So that's the big picture. But how does this actually change things for a farmer who's, standing out in her field? Let's zoom in and look at the Smart Farming Toolkit.
The foundation for all of this, the absolute bedrock, is data. We're talking precise, specific, hyper-localized data. You just can't farm smart if you don't know your own farm inside and out.
Using a tool called GeoTrack Survey, the system creates what's essentially a digital twin of each farm. It captures everything. I mean, the exact GPS coordinates, the soil pH level, the water source, what equipment they already have, even past crop yields. This incredibly detailed profile is the crucial starting point for everything that follows.
And here is where it gets really, really smart. All that data doesn't just sit in a database somewhere. It gets put to work. It's fed into an AI that analyzes the unique conditions of that specific piece of land and then sends clear, simple advice right to the farmer's phone. Something like, hey, your field needs exactly 500 liters of water today. It's that direct.
I mean, this is a total game changer. It's a move from guesswork to data-driven precision. Instead of just relying on intuition, small sensors out in the field, that's the IoT or Internet of Things part, are constantly measuring things like soil moisture. That data gets fed into an AI model, which then predicts the exact amount of irrigation needed. It saves water, it cuts costs, and it transforms farming from being reactive to being predictive.
But look, smart tools are only half the battle. If a farmer gets advice to use a new kind of fertilizer but can't afford it, well, then the data is pretty useless, right? And that's why the platform's next layer is all about financing.
70%. Just let that number sink in for a second. That's the staggering number of small farmers in Africa who are completely locked out of the formal credit system. Think about that. This financial exclusion is, you could argue, the single biggest barrier holding back agriculture on the entire continent.
So the platform tackles this with a really smart crowdfunding model. It's a clear, 4-step process. First, an automated system checks the applicant's profile. Then, agricultural experts review if the project is technically sound. After that, financial partners analyze the numbers. And finally, projects that make the cut get a quality certification and are listed right on the platform for people and institutions to fund.
And this isn't just about funding any old project. The platform is specifically designed for social impact. It has really concrete targets. 60% of the funded projects have to be led by young people and 40% by women
two groups that have historically just been completely shut out of traditional finance.
And this is so crucial. It's so much more than just a loan. It's a financing plus incubation model. Every single project gets expert technical guidance. And get this, the platform actually helps secure buyers for the crops before they're even planted. This kind of wraparound support de-risks the whole process and boosts the success rate to an absolutely astonishing 85%.
So, let's zoom back out for a minute. What does all of this, the data, the network, the financing, the incubation, what does it all add up to for the continent as a whole?
Well, this initiative isn't just happening in a vacuum. It's strategically lined up with the African Union's own long-term vision, something called Agenda 2063. It directly supports major continental goals like modernizing agriculture and, most importantly, empowering women and young people.
You know, the project's creators really put it best. They said their goal isn't just about growing more food. It's about a fundamental shift in identity. It's about transforming millions of farmers from being isolated survivors into becoming connected and prosperous entrepreneurs.
By weaving together technology, community, and finance into one accessible platform, this model really does offer a powerful new way forward. And it leaves us with a pretty big question to think about. Could this be the blueprint for Africa's next green revolution? One that's truly inclusive and powered by digital innovation?